Welcome to ACD Combatives, your combatives and control tactics channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. Okay guys, so I had an idea based on a request I got to talk more about the SIRT training pistol. And I think it's really important. The price of ammunition is skyrocketing. It's hard to get a hold of, and it's hard to get decent training in right now as far as ammunition training. Now I can tell you what I do, and I tell you what I think is important and all that. Remember guys, yeah, I've got 23 years on the job. I'm a field training officer, I'm a control tactics instructor, but I am not a firearms instructor. Take that with a grain of salt, because I've known a lot of firearms instructors that were and I've known some that were awesome, and then some of the best people I've ever learned shooting from had no certifications whatsoever. I can tell you what I know from I don't even know how many courses I've been through. I've been through multiple police academies, state, federal, local, military, and have been given the opportunity to see various ideas and concepts and how to shoot. I'm going to show you what I do, and don't take it as guru information. You do what's right for you. You get certified, good quality instructors for you. But I'm going to tell you what I do and why I do what I do. First of all, I looked at these statistics. Police shootings, I've seen them as low as 18% hit count, and I've seen them as high as 30, 40, 45%. It depends on which study you're looking at. Pretend that, let's just say, regardless of which study you're looking at, it's not that great. And I can tell you why that is. Everyone thinks that cops are gun guys. I was never really a big gun guy before I was in law enforcement. Yeah, shooting was fun. My grandpa took me out with a .22 rifle back in the day. My dad never owned firearms. It was never a thing for me. I got in the military, and obviously it made sense to be proficient with let's say NATO and the enemies of NATO, those type of military style weapons, and the common self-defense and law enforcement weapons. The guns that I do own fall into that category. I don't have anything exotic or cool. I don't hunt. I don't fish. I'm an outdoorsy person, but I don't do those things. I have hunted in the past, but it's just not my thing. I'm not against it. Absolutely, I'm not against it. I think it's actually really important. But back on track. Because of the ammo shortage, like me, a lot of departments, like most cops, a lot of departments get issue ammunition to their officers. Sometimes they don't give it to them, but at the range, it depends on your agency. I get enough to qualify for, and I get a little extra for training. That's generally how it works, but it's not like it's like, you know, the dam is broken and ammo is thick, because just like everyone else, there's a lot of law enforcement agencies that are having issues with getting enough ammo for training right now. And I'm sure you're discovering that on your own. You don't need me to tell you. Now, this video is about dry fire training. And guys, I'm here to tell you that now, because of the ammo shortage, I used to put about 50 to 100 rounds a week through my pistol. You know, I'm a rural officer. It's not that hard to find some place to go shooting. I know all the local spots, shooting pits, and I could just casually enjoy shooting in those environments, you know, in between contacts or what have you, and then that was it. But I started about 1.5 years, 2 years ago working with dry fire, and this is a SIRT pistol, and you've seen my reviews for my rifle. I will attach a link to that at the end of this video. This is great because it simulates a generic trigger. It's somewhere between a Glock and a SIG type trigger, double action only. It's a decent trigger to train with. The diehards will say, well, you should train it with the exact trigger that you patrol with. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's not a bad idea. But guys, you should, if your shooting is that bad that it's down to the exact trigger pull, then you're missing out on a lot of other fundamentals. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I can shoot in a stressful situation. I thank God I've never had to use my pistol on a human being in my career. But those of you who know me know I've told the story before when I'm training, and the whole reason the story is told is to emphasize train and trust in your training. I was helping serve a warrant, and I was in the backyard. In case the person went out the back window, he was known to be a runner and a fighter and carry a weapon. And I was in the back, and to this day I say that they released these pit bulls on purpose, but 3 pit bulls came out the side. Well, actually 1 came out the side, and I had my gun out, and I kicked the pit bull off, and I was about to transition to taser or pepper spray, and then 2 more pit bulls came out just as the 3rd one was turning on me. So now I have 3, and I was able to draw my weapon and put 3 shots into the lead pit bull, center mass. 2 in the chest, 1 in the neck, and flew off its collar. That's stressful shooting. If you don't agree, then you're more badass than me. I had 3 pit bulls, and I've seen what a pit bull can do to somebody if they get latched on. Guys, I love animals, so I feel real bad about it, but I'm not about to get chewed apart by 3 pit bulls. Luckily for me, the lead one went down, the others freaked out and took off. So that's the kind of shooting I'm talking about. But back to the story, there was a lull in the action. Unannounced to me, I had done a magazine exchange and topped off and went back into a cover position behind a tree. I didn't know that. My partner said, because he was doing the report, you shouldn't be doing your own use of force reports in a situation like that. He's like, how many shots did you fire? And I go, I don't know. He goes, I thought I heard 3. And I was like, no, probably 2. I don't know. He goes, well, look at your magazine. So I did administrative, popped my magazine out, and it was topped off. And that is when I realized I had done a magazine exchange, because then I realized I had the other magazine in my pocket. That's what I'm talking about. If you're not at that level where your training just kicks in, then it's not just firearms. I'm talking about control tactics. I'm talking about every aspect of your career. If you're not in that zone, then something's wrong. You need to get back to the drawing board and train the basics. Nothing exotic, nothing cool. So let's talk about dry fire training. Guys, usually, and I'm not a diehard, usually every other day or so I put 100 trigger pulls in my garage here. Behind me you will see I've got man-sized targets. I can do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I have the in-between targets for more important hits. Guys, this is close range. Most gunfights in law enforcement are going to be within spitting range. This isn't, I'm out there on the range doing the perfect, like testing the wind, and this isn't marksmanship training. This is what I do. I practice draw strokes, I shoot, move, communicate where I'm moving, I'm looking around. This is stuff you can't do on the range because you're flagging people with your pistol. I try to practice a swivel position, which is really important when you're in close combat because it's sucked in here. And you've heard me talk about G-wraps in my other video about weapons defense. You can grab your own barrel here if somebody's charging you and you don't have time to get gun up on them. You can use the gun as a weapon, roll, use the elbow as a weapon. These are all things that I practice. I do magazine exchanges. Right now I don't have spare mags in my stuff. Let me get those. You should practice just like you patrol. There we go. And so yeah, this is my training belt, and it's identical to my patrol belt. I mean, it's not as nice. It's a mix of different stuff, but it's the same holsters and everything. So, what do? I usually come down this path, and I work my way in, and I just randomly, I might prearrange a pattern, move in, go to the targets. Those are about 2-inch targets. You should be able to hit them regularly. I'm going to miss on purpose. Oops, I didn't miss on purpose. There we go. See how I'm a little bit off? Yeah, that's good enough for combat, guys. If you can hit a paper plate, that's fine. This one here, if I think the batteries are going down on this one. What is this quick time? I have to, and then I hit this, and it shows, I don't know if that's coming up on camera or not, that actually shows my hit pattern. Hopefully that's showing on camera. Here, let me just pick it up and show you. It lights up, it shows you the hit pattern, and then I can reset it. So let me do this again. Display. I'm looking at the camera, guys, I'm sorry, and not looking at the target. There it is, and it shows the display. Hit the reset, and it resets. So guys, on Amazon, these targets, let me reset this bad boy. These targets on Amazon, and by these targets I'm going to show you from the video here, this I'm hitting, they come for 2 of them for like $105. You're like, well, that's kind of expensive, $105 for 2 targets. These are fun because you have to focus in on a like a 2-inch, 1.5-inch, 2-inch pattern. You don't need that. You can just put up a target on the wall, you know, double tap to the chest, one to the head. He's still not going down. I'm going to do maybe a pelvic hit. I'm going to do magazine exchanges, you know, simulate a slide review, slide. There we go. I don't know if that's showing up. I did the quick time target one. That's a good little pattern. And what I like about this is if I'm hitting off to one side, you know, you don't need me to tell you that you're like there's something going on with my trigger pull. I'm probably jerking the trigger. Guys, if you're jerking the trigger, that's going to be your biggest issue when you're shooting. I guess what I'm saying at the end of the day, you don't need to do anything super fancy. You don't have to put a lot of ammo down range. Am I saying you never have to go to the range again? Absolutely not. Please, if you are hearing that, then you're not listening to this video. This is just repetitive trigger pull and focusing on that front sight. I'm here to tell you in reality, when you're super close, you're looking through your sights. I don't necessarily recall seeing my sights when I saw that pit bull, but I knew from my training that I had a pretty good true point with my Glock, and that I was going to hit what I was looking at. And sure enough, you know, 2 in the chest, 1 in the neck. So that upset me because I've never met a dog I didn't like. Dogs are the best people I've ever met, and I tend to not like people nearly as much as I like animals, guys. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there too. If you've ever had a dog, you know what I'm talking about. They're just awesome. But back to this. This is what I do. This is how I supplement my training. I put about 100 trigger pulls every other day down. Guys, am I going to be a Navy SEAL because of this? No. But I have been told by my firearms instructors, especially my last duty station, because he saw my progression. He's shot with me several times. And when I started doing the laser training, he told me right away, you know, you're much quicker out of the holster, and there's definitely some improvement going on. He asked me, what are you doing? And I told him the laser training, and he seemed interested in that, and he ended up purchasing one of these himself, one of these laser pistols, or I think the agency bought him one. I have one that the agency got me for control tactics, and then I liked it so much I bought my own. So the one I'm using right now is my own. I got some cheap night sights off of Amazon and put them on that, so they're just like my Glock duty weapon. And this fits in the same duty holster that I have. It's not a perfect fit. The security lock doesn't work very well with it, but I have to go through the same motion. I'm so trained on this holster that regardless, I'm still releasing the safety on it. I have a level 2 holster. So again, I might...
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out.